You are listening to Polymatic.media, episode 134 for February 2026. Welcome to the Polymaticast. Hey, John. I would say how you doing, but we've just been talking for like an hour.
Yeah,
So.
the Polymaticast without claps.
Yeah, Polymatic without claps.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because Zoom sucks.
For you. It's very reliable for me.
John hates Zoom. That's my name on Zoom.
Yeah, again, it's not the preferable company or application, but the only reason I really use it is because it's incredibly reliable. And I already pay for it for the podcast because the reliability is an important factor for me. I want to be able to turn stuff on and just get and go, and I don't want to be screwing around with stuff for hours on end because some software component, something somewhere is unreliably not working anymore.
I think that Google Meet was very reliable until your other PC crapped out, and then you had to fiddle with lots of configuration, and things went weird.
It's also because I'm funneling everything into one system, and it's got too many I/O interfaces attached to it, where in the other system it had less, right? And so given sort of my being able to edit and stuff, I have an additional mechanism and a couple other things going on in the system. And like, I've wired everything. It's a mess. I'm looking at cables flowing over into the corner of back behind the monitors. It's a mess. And so it's just extra convoluted and the web browser couldn't handle it. So
take it all apart and put it back together.
Yeah, I don't know, budget stuff. I'm now imagining what I do with that money is I have to hold on to a bunch of money. I need to also let it collect up so that I can pay the extortion tax of buying a new system. And I meant that in graphics cards and in SSDs and in memory cost. So, yeah. And then I can work on figuring out how to fix the system up and do that without risk of concern of being relying on it. So then I can fix that thing up, and then maybe that becomes the studio system where I can get more years out of it. Either way. So, yeah. So I don't know. I'm just thinking about how I budget and do some things in the house that I just never make time for because I was not having any money, you know.
Yep, that sucks.
Mm-hmm. Life in the U.S. is expensive.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, politics and all. It's expensive.
Freedom.
If you're not a billionaire, you're poor. That's our economy.
Like everybody there thinks that they are a millionaire who hasn't made it yet.
Yeah.
Isn't that the thing?
It's not possible. You can't work yourself to $1 million. I've seen some videos where it's like, oh, great, that's great hindsight, but like. Where somebody says, oh, if you just put in $100 every week to this stock, and in 20, 30 years, you'll have $8.2 million. Okay, well, that's context that, like, in today, that's pretty good for a single stock. Right.
Should have told me that 30 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And I was like, okay, I got it. Now that's hindsight, right? For me, it would be hindsight. And if you go back in time, but also I used to say we were talking about like increases in salary or whatever it is and adjustments for inflation and shit like that. And I used to tell people, because when I worked at Unisys, where people like, oh, it's like, look, they didn't pay well. And and it was really tough to get any kind of increase because it was like living Dilbert, right? They created a whole bunch of stuff where no one could get good ratings. Everyone was supposed to be on the edge of being fired ratings, and that was a requirement of our bosses, that they absolutely didn't matter if I saved the world 9 times that week. It didn't matter. It's like, well, would you do it for us in the last minute? You didn't save the world again. So we're going to give you, out of a rating of 5, 1 through 5, we're going to give you a 3 with potential of being a 2.5. Like, and that was exactly what they did. because that was the BS that was going on there, and that wasn't different than most companies. But my point is, they didn't want to. It didn't matter if you were doing a great job. They wouldn't reward you, and they had to find. They had to build a system so that they could not reward you. And when people are just saying, it's like, I didn't make any money, it's like, I know I'm making above average compared to the normal person, but 3.42% of nothing is still nothing. And so it's not much different today. Yeah, my scale is a lot more, but my point is that even if I get the top end of 4%, it's once the taxes come out, it's like nothing. I might get an extra $10 a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Did you hear what happened to the Dilbert guy?
No, I know some stuff happened, and he got some Prezzo support or something, but I don't know what else happened. He was always
he died.
Oh, he died. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So
That
he
I
was
didn't
trying
know.
to cure cancer with ivermectin, and he died.
I remember early on when Periscope was around. Remember Periscope?
Wasn't that like a short video thing?
No, so that sort of spawned out as a competition to Vine. Eventually got bought by Twitter, but it was a really good live app on phones, and it was very good. It just didn't have much community build as a startup, and then it got sucked up by Twitter, and then they killed Vine. Yeah, and then it just sort of got, I was like, we don't want to be in the business for that. We're going to be in the business of less and still make our money, right? And Periscope got killed, but he used to be on Periscope, and I was like, I like his humor and stuff, but he's a little too little off on the side, and he's very convincing to give you an argument that's like, yeah, but that's not how it works, Scott. And so I used to watch him. I was like, that's a pretty convincing argument, but that's not how it works. And anyhow, so I was like, okay, well, maybe he's not someone that I want to pay any attention to what he does anymore.
Yeah.
And he was a little off kilter. And yeah. But I like Dilbert because I could relate to it, because it was very much my world I was living. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
But I was at Unisys, and we had a cube that we made up and turned into a cube so they wouldn't take it away from our area and reassign it to some other team and mix up our area in such a, we wanted to have our people grouped together. And so it was tough. And so we had this on the other side of me. We turned it into a little testing lab. And that way it was being utilized for our team. So if we had an employee there,
do I need to block the name?
No, I don't work there anymore.
Okay.
That's been like over 20 years or something. Let me think about that. 21 years ago I worked there, so who cares?
Speaking of, today I started 20 years ago. I started my current job.
Oh, okay.
Today.
So you had some jobs before this one, right?
No, just one.
Oh, just one. Wow. No, congrats on that.
Before this, I was working for a marketing company.
Okay.
And was there for 3 years. And before that, I did some like work experience stuff and delivering medication for a pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
So just side jobs.
Courier.
Yeah, but in the evenings, delivering medications for people.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we well,
On the bike.
Oh, okay, got it. Well,
you see me
that's a little bit more expected in the Netherlands, right? You bike around in less cars.
Taking your bike and cycling
in the middle of the night.
20 kilometers in an evening.
Yeah, that's a little
on a
sketchy.
bike filled with 20 to 30 kilograms of medication.
Yeah, that's a little sketchy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I had my tires blow out twice. Yep.
And on a bike, you can't carry a lot of stuff on you.
Well, I managed it, so yeah.
I've
But it
seen
would
those
suck if you.
videos of a guy who has one of those like scooters, and there's a ton of these videos of a couple people where they get carabiners out and bags, and they've gone to Walmart and they have these big orders, and they're carabining everything on them, and they get on this little tiny scooter,
Do you like
not even a
those
Vespa, like a little
those?
tiny
Oh, I
scooter.
thought you meant like a
Like
mobility scooter.
no, and then they're like, this person is filming this person watching it all of them assembling all the stuff, figuring out the balance, and then they sort of followed behind them, still videoing. He's like, I want to see where this guy goes, and you see this guy go up this big old hill with this big old mansion, and it goes up this big old driveway with the thing, and he carries everything off, and basically he takes care of everything, and he was doing like he was making money that way. And there was another guy, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I do this every week." It's like, I don't have a car. It's
Hmm.
like I go in and get all my shopping done every week. I do this. And I was
Okay.
like,
Well,
yeah,
we,
it's
we
like,
have
oof.
something called Picnic here, which is like a delivery service for like a grocery store.
Yeah. Well, we have that
And
here too.
yeah, but they drive around these tiny electric cars.
Oh, okay. I mean,
It's like
like
super
you
tiny.
don't need like you don't need a tank sized vehicle to get your Walmart or your whatever your groceries every week. Like you don't need that. I benefit from. I did this the other day. This weekend I went and I got water. Right, I'm very reliant on certain water that I like, and I didn't pick up two or three. I picked up and I filled basically my trunk. And then I went over to
Mm.
Costco and I went over here and I went back over here and like I filled my trunk up. And I spent like a dozen trips from my car to the front to my door, like to bring everything in because my
Do you know
backyard is
those
snowy.
Japanese tiny trucks?
Oh yeah, K trucks. Yeah, I see
Yeah.
them
So
around every once in a while.
so I sent you a message on the Telegram with the with a picture of one of those cars. They're very reminiscent of those. They're very tiny
Hmm.
electric cars.
There's
But they have
yeah, yeah,
like a whole
yeah,
cool
it's a K
section and
truck.
whatever.
Yeah, it's called a K truck. They make them in Japan. They're very inexpensive. You can buy them for less than like $10,000 or something.
Hmm. I'm
And
looking.
the reason
Hmm.
that they make them is because this is perfect delivery truck in local regions in Japan.
Hmm.
And so there's a guy who he's sort of a self-made millionaire because he lives in Michigan area and he bought an old 1950s car factory or something. And what he's working on right now is he bought one or two K trucks, and they're trying to turn them into like they're rebuilding them so that they can be like super fast vehicles,
Hmm.
you know, that you could drag
They're
race
pimping
with or
them up.
whatever. Yeah,
They like a stereo in their stereo.
yeah, yeah.
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 So you've been upgrading your kitchen.
Well, yeah, a little bit.
Well, you're going
Since
to be
I've been
upgrading
able
your
to have
kitchen.
some use of my money, right? So I bought an air fryer. Those are very inexpensive. I didn't buy a KitchenAid yet, but it's on my plan. Was looking at stand mixers and looking at people's ratings and stuff, and so KitchenAid is not the highest of like best stand mixers, but it's well established and there's such a community for it, and that includes the accessories and stuff that you can put on them. So I'm gonna get one of those. I already sort of bookmark what I want. A 5 quart is fine, um, but yeah. So I started looking at things, and then just like, all right, well, this upcoming paycheck, I can use some of that money. And I was thinking about maybe I should get that kitchen island. And I looked at whatever IKEA, and it looks nice. But even then, it's still incredibly expensive. And what I want to use this extra kitchen island for, is to be able to put like any like I've car club merchandise stuff that's been just sort of living in my corner of my living room with these big boxes with all this crap in it and mugs and stuff like that. And so like I just want to consolidate them to a shelf, and I want to have a place where I can have other kitchen appliances that sort of available for me to grab because they don't fit in cabinets well. You know, and I have pots and pans and stuff that just don't fit in places well. So I was thinking about getting sort of a professional kitchen prep table. So I was looking at that this weekend. So that's a thing that I might, I'm going to buy probably Friday, and I'll put that together. And then I bought, I didn't buy a KitchenAid. The point of bringing up the KitchenAid was that I don't have a pasta attachment, but for $100, I found something on Amazon that looks like it's pasta attachment I could use on the KitchenAid. But the point is that it's just like for $100, I can do dough rolling. So I started making pasta. I made some last night, fresh pasta. And so it's cutting fettuccine right now, or spaghetti, or just dough rolling. That's the critical part right there, so that I can, I can flatten it out, get it to where I want it to, right? And it was only $100. Any other dough rolling thing that you use for croissants and stuff like that, those things, I found some that are like under $400, but they're still $400. And then where would I put it if I don't have a side table to put it?
But then you still need to put it away.
Yeah, well then I could put it on that table. That's the point of buying that kitchen prep table.
Lots and lots of stuff
is to have something off to the side that I can just, because these things don't fit anywhere else. They either fit on a countertop in your kitchen, dedicated, or they fit in a, if you take the shelves out in your cabinet, maybe it fits in a, low level cabinet, but then that's it. If it fits in, right? And so I can't have stuff I want in the kitchen, and I need a place for it, and that's the point of the table. So anyhow, I've been making fettuccine, and I was looking at a pasta attachment that would let me make, like, elbow macaroni and rotini and little noodles like that. And that doesn't, I don't know if it works with this particular device. It's definitely designed for a KitchenAid, which has way more torque than this thing does. So but yeah, so I bought a thing, and I've been able to make like maybe a couple pounds of pasta fresh, and it's actually pretty good. I'm now feeling the it's like, I want pasta. I'm gonna go make my own. So that's what I've been doing. So it's been fun. I'm gonna make ravioli. I bought a ravioli thing. It's gonna be a thing. I'm not gonna go crazy. I have videos. I didn't link any of them, but there's a guy on TikTok where he made a little shoe that's like a checkered pattern and stuff, and he just make little things, and I'm not that skilled. I'm not gonna go out of my way that much. So I'm happy with some fettuccine or spaghetti.
TikToks?
No. I mean, if I do it, I might do it live. Right, that might be a good thing to kind of make the pasta live, and then for people to see that from a down shot and stuff, just like I did with the sourdough. That might be a thing I do.
So do you still make lots of baking videos and stuff on TikTok?
No, primarily because when I was making things where I was preparing and putting a lot of effort and energy in, they don't get distributed in TikTok. They'll get no fucking attention. No attention at all. And then in the case of YouTube Shorts, I put those same two videos on YouTube Shorts, and yeah, they immediately get more distribution, but after the first 30 minutes, forget it. You don't get, you're not part of discovery, right? So there is no place for me to put them unless I just put them someplace, and then people just show up because they're showing up for me. The whopping 50 people that show up for me everywhere, right? That's it. That's who that. If I put it anywhere, it's for there. So and why go out of my way to make, I get better distribution on a still picture and some of my AI slop songs with a statement and a picture of something that I created, and I get more attention there than I do, and I still can go live, and I probably will go live, but I won't expect many people to show up for me, right? since the whole change of TikTok officially, and their outage and stuff, it's not as lively as it used to be over there.
They've been putting music, in some cases very inappropriate music, underneath the videos. So there was one that was talking about the Epstein files, and they put like some really interesting music underneath it, and
Yeah,
and that was done by TikTok. Like,
yeah,
it
so
was done by them.
some guy was saying is like, here's a test, and he just started saying all the things. He's like, I just want to test if I get flagged or whatever. It's like, and again, this is like engagement bait. Like, please comment below if you've seen this video, right? And I got one of those things, and he said all the things, and he had thousands of people like and comment. Right? So yeah, I get it, but also I don't know exactly how actually true that is, because I've seen people do those test videos.
Well,
there
was one video where there was an interview, and they had it was just a normal interview, and if you go watch it on YouTube, it is fine, 100% fine, there's no problem. But then if you see it on TikTok, it has like some strange music put over it all of a sudden.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. For people like for that individual who did that one thing, he's probably not big enough to merit any attention, any human attention at the company, right? So that's probably why it came through. Any Twitch streamer that absolutely gets a lot of attention, they show up on something like, like TikTok, of course, some human at the company is going to pay attention to them, right? They are a target for everything they say, right? Where someone like me, Alan, said something, it is probably to go through, but the distribution on that is probably 100 people, not millions. So
you're a very, very controversial figure.
Yeah, I know.
Alan, Chase, very controversial.
My hot take on cold brew. Make it yourself, jackass.
The pasta situation is insane.
Yeah. And I think I shared a picture. I've been doing this lately. I was like, I don't know what you did this weekend, but I made some pasta from scratch. And I say that to other people, and they're like not so impressed by it. They're like, "Oh, I made that one time, like 20 years ago. That one time. It's easy to make." Yeah, I don't know. It's a thing.
Does anybody really put pictures on TikTok?
What do you mean?
Do people even put pictures on TikTok?
Yeah, I do. They put pictures up for things, and then you can slap music on it, and your discovery will be good. So if I find so you'll see this on a trick, right, where someone is having their vlog or whatever it is, and you look below and it says the music, and the music is some kind of super popular rap song or whatever's going hot as a trend, right? But you don't hear any of that, like not whatsoever. So what they do is they grab that audio and they push the volume down to 0, and then they do their video all over it. And so what they do is they get natural discovery promotion because of the attachment of that song, because the song is popular. So if I put a picture up of something, like I'm staring at my Domokun, whatever, the weird thing, right? I took a picture of that, and I was like, this is how I feel about when technology fails, right? And then I had a song of my own. And it got, like maybe 100, right? Where before, if I was to pick a song from something that's doing well in terms of a sound that's being used inside the TikTok, library, I would get maybe 300 immediately, right? Because of that relationship to using that source, right? So there's a whole bunch of things that it's just a bunch of BS tactic style, there. So people do it all the time. They just put up a picture to a sound. There's one that happens for me because I live in Pennsylvania, where it's like, oh, you're from PA? Oh, nearby Scranton? And just starts naming towns. Like, no, north of that. Like, and it's just the same stupid sample. And what people do is they they have a little slide of pictures that you can swipe across that have each of those like towns, and then at the end, the last slide is where they live, like the town that they live.
Have you had the problem with you're sending people videos
Sharing
by
them out?
accident?
No.
No. So what happens is that when you scroll, right in the position where you scroll, there sometimes pops up a share to this person. So somebody who's been in contact with you or you've had contact with over TikTok, it starts putting that
it gives
person
you,
there.
Gives
and
you
you
options.
Scroll over with your finger without any confirmation. It just shares it straight to that person.
Right.
And there's no way to remove it.
Well, you can delete the message.
And it's the worst part. What?
You can delete the message.
You cannot. You cannot.
I can.
You cannot.
I can delete
Trust
the
me
message.
on this. You cannot. You cannot remove the message.
Yeah. So for me, I can delete it. You delete, and if they haven't seen it, hasn't been receipted, you have a delete for everyone. And if they have receipted it, then it would say delete for me. But you have to open up a chat, and they have to see a chat, and a message was deleted, right? So I have this where I send stuff to one friend the most when I'm not trying to like share out my own stuff, and so she'll come up first. But sometimes she gets cycled down. And so like I've learned to look at what's there before I tap a thing. So, or copy the link and promote it, right? Or repost it and stuff like that. So anyhow, that's TikTok. Let's stop talking about TikTok.
As of yesterday evening, you cannot delete them.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes. I'm just saying this as from my experience even from last night, you cannot delete them. And it's the worst freaking feature of fucking TikTok.
Yeah, I don't know.
They send a DM with a video, and it's freaking stupid.
I will go through and prune my DMs because there are people that are friends, but like we don't really talk via that, right? They don't talk to anybody via that because they get pictures. Especially now that you can send pictures. They get pictures. Even that other friend, she was like, she made some posts. She's like, I don't know if she did make a post, but she told me first. She texted me. She's like, I got some eggplants in my DMs.
Oh,
which is too common for people, especially if they're attractive and they're popular. They're going to get those things. And she's like, I don't understand what the thinking is there. What did they think I was gonna do?
Sometimes I get like videos where like the first like few frames, or like not the first frame, but the first few frames are like just plain porn, and I report the video, and then they come back and say, no, there's nothing wrong with this video.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Holy fuck!
I've had friends who are. So the tactic is if even if you're verified, right? If you're super popular, so like my friend Allie. Okay, so I know her on TikTok. If I pop into her live, she'll say hello. She gives me attention and stuff like that. That is the point. The point is that if I've seen a bunch of people come up that are following me, all of a sudden and trying to pretend to be her, and you can go down the videos and you can see they're all like 1 day old or 2 days old or whatever it is, or 4 hours old, whatever it is, and you go look at the thing and it says blah 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 39, right, or 42 or something, or ... underscore, right? I know first thing that person's already following me. Okay, and I made a comment, so there's like, oh, this person likes this person, so they must be following them, and let me follow them and act as, and I will immediately just, I can't report it. I can't report it because I'm not her, and she is not like deemed by TikTok to be a celebrity, so therefore she doesn't come up in the list of people that like like a known celebrity or something. So, and what they'll do is they block her, so she can't even look at their profile to report that I'm me, right? And it's a very flawed system. So if I go and I report, something, and they'll say there's nothing wrong, there's no violation of blah blah blah, and I'm just like it's it's useless. So I just block people. That's it. That's all I can do. I'm gonna let her know, and then I've had people just say, okay, here's what you do. You go ahead and you make a post saying this is not me. I will not contact you over Telegram. I will not do this. This is my only account, right? And make a video on her own platform to do that.
The problem is that then they take that video and they put their own little thing on it.
Yeah, but they put a screenshot of, not me, this is me, right, in their text, right? And it's like baked into the video. So like I had my friend, the friend who I was talking about, I had her do that, and she, it's just like, it's frustrating, and it's it's the scammers. I block all the people that repost stuff that aren't, there's a couple people that I like when they talk about certain stuff, and I just block them. It's like, you're clipping somebody else's stuff and you're not them.
Okay. So yeah. I've got actually an interesting video. Let me grab the link for that. Dylan, what's his name?
Oh,
Dylan
Dad Chats.
Page. Dylan Page.
Oh, okay, no, that's different.
He was talking about the TikTok files.
Okay.
So,
so
he did some research into how all the stuff that's been happening. He got his account banned for very silly reasons. And he went down a little rabbit hole. Polymatic.media/1LU for that one. It might be interesting to watch.
Yeah. Okay, we talked too much about TikTok.
Yep. Anyway, so you're going to redecorate your kitchen.
I'm going to do some stuff. I'm going to do stuff affordably.
Okay.
And I got some budget plans, and really, as much as I want a new couch and whatever, I really got to focus a ton of money on having a reliable system that I can rely on. So
that's what reliable means.
Yeah.
So I've been building out my potato net. How's the potato net over there? Has it been expanded?
Everyone's still doing their hi, hello test. I saw someone, and I thought it was funny. There was a very quick interaction to it, but someone put 8675309 out, and then one person replied and go, "Jenny, is that you?" I thought that was funny. That would only hit for people of reference of a certain age and an age plus.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's a song called from I think the 80s called Jenny, and it was a guy just saying, calling this girl Jenny, and her not answering back, and the lyric, the part of the chorus was 8675309, and that created enough of a problem where people were dialing. At that time, at least in the U.S., you didn't require area codes. You could dial just that 7-digit number and get to, because it was just assumed of your local area code. Well, now they all the nation made it a requirement that you needed to supply your area code. And then what they did is, just like the 555 numbers that they all use in the movies. They also did a where it went to a fast busy signal for every area code 8675309 in the U.S. because of that song.
Wow, you should make that a paid number. Just all the rewards.
So they just had to they had to sort of reserve and block it off. So I just thought that was funny. That's because I saw the other day, or even to this morning, there was someone that said 789. That was it. That was nothing, right? They're just like, people are just putting garbage in to the network every time they get online. Is this working? I got you in 6 hops. I got you in 2 hops. Right. That's it. That's all. Most of the chatter. Very little of them are like talking to each other, and I stopped doing it, but every once in a while I would just pop out and say, "Hey, if you can see this, it's working. Like it works, guys. It works. I don't know why we all got it. We don't need your test sequence numbers, right?" Um,
Well,
yeah.
I've been like trying to get stuff more organized a little bit here in the Netherlands. There is a bunch of people who are coming over for a meetup next week, so this
Mm-hmm.
will not be out before then, I
Right.
think. But yeah, so we have a little local meetup, a Gouda meetup, basically. There's a bunch of people here in Gouda that are doing stuff
Mm-hmm.
with Meshtastic. And that's kind of fun. And I've been building lots of nodes, adding more things. I'm also making a video on how to build one.
Yeah.
More of like a hey, I made all these like parts that you can use. You can 3D print them. I'm gonna be putting them on my printables page, that kind of stuff. And then making a video where you can get all the parts. And that's yeah. So you can get those ready-mades too. And that's going to be a different video of how to configure it. And over here, we've been having some issues because of the
Temps.
what?
The snow.
Well, no, the problem has been well, some batteries have been dying, but that's not the
Mm-hmm.
biggest problem. The biggest problem has been that there's like some sort of disruption here in my city. So there's like something is blocking a lot of LoRa messages, and it doesn't really matter if it's Meshtastic or Meshcore. It's both of them having
Right.
issues, and yeah. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on there. In the meantime, I've put up the MQTT bridge. Since we last spoke, the Meshtastic, the meshnet.nl stopped working. So they completely deleted their website and also their
Oh,
MQTT server. Yeah, that's been a bit of a hassle.
interesting.
So
Something's
everybody has
going
been
on.
switching over. Everybody that's been able to reach has been switching over to my MQTT server. Of course, you can use the one from Meshtastic himself,
Right.
which is distributed. So there's like one in Belgium, I think, and then there's like different servers. So it's region sent to different regions. But for me, I've been like building a map, some map software. So I've been hooking up all my nodes to my MQTT server. So I've opened that up so people can now use it. And it's been pretty fun. I've been using it with my own software and been building my own map and adding like statistics and like favorites and stuff. You can like keep track of your own nodes really easy. And I've been looking at like maybe open sourcing that at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Will probably be very useful.
I like the update to the Meshtastic app. I like sort of the chat bubbles are improved now. My biggest thing is when people are chatting, like some guy responded to something and he's like, "That really helps," but there's no context to what he's talking to or who he's talking to, and if he is replying to somebody, he's not replying to anybody. Um,
Well, he probably is. You're just not seeing it.
Yeah, maybe. But there's a lot of that comes through. Now, this guy is, okay, so he's 5 hops away, so that makes sense. But it's
Yeah.
when it's someone is 1 hop away, right? And it's like, it's just, I don't know. There isn't a lot of like functional conversation going on in this, for me at least.
Yeah. So we've been using the MQTT bridge, and it's been very useful because I'm basically in like an island of like lots of Meshtastic nodes, but then they're outside of it. There's like a large section of nothing, and then there's more Meshtastic nodes. So we've been trying to coordinate to get more locations to communicate with each other. That's been very useful. And yeah. And I have also been using Meshcore, and what I've noticed is that I think that I have a Meshtastic a Meshcore node, a repeater. I have 2 of them, and they have been very useful. because they're located in like positions where they can communicate with the rest of the Netherlands.
Right.
And I've been causing some actually connections between people. And then I had to turn it off because I had to do maintenance, and then for a couple of days, and it was off. And then when it turned back on, I got all these messages from people like, "Oh, hey, it works again. I can reach everything again. Oh, that's nice." And blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
so you're critical.
Was that my node?
You're critical
not.
relay. Yeah, we got one who's pretty high up in the area, and the town next door, Conshohocken, for me, it does have is sort of lives. The whole town is basically up on a hill. So someone's got something pushed up there, and they're in a router mode, and I think that's why I'm be able to interconnect all the way into Philly, right? Because I'm really just up here, and so I can reach up into sort of corresponding towns, but not as far as up that hills. But obviously, I'm line of contact to that guy who's repeating, right? And then from there, I'm probably bridging across him in terms of hops. So. Interesting, right? How all that stuff works out. So
for me, that thing, that's a mesh core repeater. It's not mesh testing. So that's and something I noticed, and that's kind of funny. So I got a Tiny SA, which is a spectrum analyzer.
Mm-hmm.
Allow me to see the stuff that's going in.
Yeah.
So I've been looking at it, like where I was near a mesh core router, a repeater. And I've been seeing that whenever, like every couple of seconds, a message comes in, and I'm not seeing it as a message from anything from me, but there's like lots of people sending out messages all the time on Meshcore, and it's kind of blocking stuff. It's messing stuff up, and I see a lot of conversations on Meshcore where I'm seeing half the conversation, and it's at a larger volume, and it's kind of annoying. So the hop limit, I think, is 64. So yeah, you'll reach the rest of the country. The problem is that half of the country doesn't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's still not getting all the conversation. And there's like channels and stuff like that. So there's lots of like messages going through your routers, your repeaters, and you're not actually seeing any of it.
So
for Meshtastic, the amount of actual messages going through is slightly less, which is good, of course.
So I'm on the long fast, right, the default, and Philly Mesh. There's a group who set up a medium, a long medium or something, whatever it is, like another channel. Just to have like a backup for people who aren't going to chat as often, but also won't include all this. Like people come on default and go 8675309, annoyingly. Test, sequence number test. Like there's all that garbage noise, right? So there's a lot of that, and it's like, great, it's working. Yeah, I got you in 9 hops. Like, okay, great, but like, everyone can go look in the app and see how many hops. It's right there. It's underneath your message, right? Like, great, I got that far. Like, no one. That's not a conversation, guys. Yes, I heard you. Can you hear me now? There's a lot of that. This is this version of "Can you hear me now?" When you walk into a conference and people are like, "Can you hear me? Am I audible?" Yes, we can hear you. Am I audible? Yes, we can hear you.
I think the main issue, like when meshnet.nl died, a lot of people didn't change their configuration for MQTT, so they didn't notice that it was going to happen. They didn't know it was going to happen, and that's kind of a problem because like those people are still on like the old setup.
Yeah.
And they might be having issues because suddenly their MQTT doesn't work anymore, and they don't know what's going on. And there's been like a push from that guy to switch to Meshcore.
I was surprised that you even said that you set up a Meshcore.
I've had Meshcore for like months, and like the problem is that like in the beginning it was really, really, really unreliable because like the app just didn't function.
Right.
I still hate Meshcore because it is the apps are terrible, because the app is like, if you are somebody who manages a node, like the reason you want to have that, why is that a paid for function? Right. I understand you want to, increase like have money to develop stuff and continue to develop everything, but the whole situation of how that was set up, it's so bad. It feels so.
There are just some people that they're capable of doing things and they just want to monetize, and their goal is to monetize, not to build an awesome thing, just to monetize. And it sounds
the
like
monetization thing is very present there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that it sounds like to me that his goals are to make money, and this is just trying to invent the thing. Like, I appreciate the idea of and trying. I mean, I could see some value if you want to have a private network, but couldn't you just set up your own channel? You could just set up your own channel.
Yep. Yeah, but I think there were like a bunch of like technical stuff that they wanted to change real quick.
Right.
And and if we're talking about a specific person like Andy Kirby, who's like he was like pushing things. So like every other week there was like but let's switch to medium fast, or let's do this, or
right.
Okay, chill, trying to build something constructive here now. And that same kind of stuff that was happening, but like to the Dutch thing, and they were like doing we're turning off MQTT reading, so people don't spread more messages over the mesh, just to prevent like congestion. The congestion wasn't the problem. There wasn't a congestion problem. That wasn't because people were talking a lot. That wasn't the freaking problem. Anyway. I'm angry about that, but
yeah, I know. I can tell. That's why I was saying.
Anyway,
quiet.
So I was looking at TinySA, looking at messages coming in, and I was looking at what?
You bought a little TinySA, little
TinySA, a little spectrum analyzer, and so I had my phone looking at Meshtastic coming in. And you can turn on the debug window, and you can see what's coming in, like the messages. Right. And I opened Meshcore, and they have a similar function. Great, love it. And then you just, whenever there was like a little blip on the TinySA in that spectrum, in that frequency range, it was every time it was Meshcore. Every freaking second there was a message going by, but no messages coming in. It was like, there's all this conversation happening in different channels, in secure channels, so great and all. But like it's like it's swamping, it's like it's clogging up stuff, and it's not great. And then I check at Meshtastic, and yes, you do see Meshtastic traffic coming in, but it doesn't look like a giant blob. And like, I was close to the radios,
not a burst, right? I understand.
And so the whole myth of like, Meshcore is less chatty than Meshtastic, I don't think that's true. I don't really believe that. There's lots of myths around, and not a lot of like the whole but Meshcore's Meshtastic is insecure. I'm like, yeah, that's great. So what's your source for that information? Do you know? How do you know? What's the deal?
It's rhetoric.
Show me.
It's hyperbole and rhetoric.
Well, that's the thing. They keep coming in with these.
That's how informed people talk about politics, and they take someone else's opinion that they think they know something, right? Insert
but then when you ask
person.
them, they have no answer. So
they have no.
Why do you say that?
Right.
What's the reason?
Yeah, there's a lot of pundits, right? They're vocal and they speak with authority, but they aren't authorities on the topic.
Yeah, but then I think that some people are like they are invested in it in such a way that they actually have money in it, and then they start spouting stuff about something, and they pretend like it's not. They have no interest, and they're just saying something generic for the community, like oh, we're just trying to make things better, and then it turns out, oh no, we're working on something for
Right.
ourselves, and it's like, yeah, it feels really weird. That makes me not want to trust those people. So yeah, and I'm like taking everything with a grain of salt when it comes to these people because yeah.
It's the same
I
thing
think.
with
Did you watch the video from Ben Jordan from last thing?
probably.
Gadgets for people who don't trust the government.
Oh yeah. Yes, I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
The same
So
guy
at the
did
end,
the flock
at the
video.
end of the Meshtastic part, he has like a bit about like Meshcore and Meshtastic, and there's like lots of astroturfing going on. Exactly that. That's the problem.
Yeah. We talked about this last time. This is, and I mentioned PC versus Mac, Linux versus whatever. Right? It doesn't. It's all the very same thing. It's people who come out who say things without actually factual evidence. And I was about to just sort of spin this is a thing in TikTok where people are like, I understand everything. This is how you do it. I was like, no, you guys don't really know anything. And even if you read the guidelines, like you guys don't really know anything. I'm getting shadow banned. No, you're not getting shadow banned. You just changed your content, right? So, like people like act like they understand everything. Oh, there was an outage. They're doing stuff, and I'm like, no, you don't know anything. You're just speaking out of your butt, and because you have an audience. You speak out your butt, and that's how you, hold on to those people. There's a guy who doesn't live far from me. I've talked to him a little bit over Mastodon. He is a master electrician. He installs solar. Like he's the guy who puts solar not on houses but on factories, right? And he works for a company where he has to go out and check on problems and fix problems, right? And so he's been really just hell bent on reaction posting to this lady who talks out of her butt about solar and this and that and blah 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 blah. And oh, by the way, here's my book, right? One of those people, and he is just creating reaction videos to this lady, and she's blocked them, right? But he knows what he's talking about, and she doesn't. Like it's clear this is his business. He is a master electrician. In fact, he installed one of his videos. He installed his own solar system in his house, right? And like he knows what he's talking about. Solar. No, not space, but like he installed the panels. He budgeted everything out of his pocket, and then he installed 60 kilowatts of batteries. And he's like, I'm going to do a test during our storm. And we wanted to see it like full load everywhere. And like, he's doing what he would normally do in his job, but he's doing it for himself, right? The guy knows what he's talking about. This is his business, where this lady is like, she's gotten the attention of every mom and person who's uninformed on the topic. And she speaks like she has understanding, but she doesn't. And there's a ton of those people. Right? They're like, this is what I did and how I got 4 million people to follow me on TikTok. Like, you don't know anything. You have boobs. That's it. That's why they follow you. You have boobs. You're not unattractive looking. That's it. That's where your success rate comes from. It doesn't come from you knowing anything. Like, that's it. And yeah, there's a ton of those people on TikTok. It's the same kind of thing. People don't really know anything, except for the people who work at TikTok.
I see a lot of people.
There's probably few of those people who know anything.
Like a lot of people have been starting to use like the thing where they try to solve a problem and they say, oh yeah, but I had ChatGPT do me a thing and then it didn't work and it didn't work and it didn't work and I had it to do it again and it didn't work still.
Right.
And why is this thing so stupid? Why doesn't it work? I'm like,
because you aren't working.
You are not looking at the problem.
Yeah, right.
You're trying to get somebody else to fix it for you, but the somebody else doesn't exist.
Yeah. I mean,
anyway.
I have lately, instead of the thing where it's like, I just want to make sure I'm remembering this correctly before I execute on it. Like, you would go Google something real quick and go, okay. Yeah, okay, that's exactly what I thought it was. Okay, good. And I don't have to like I have to like go screw up and frustrate myself. I can go, okay, the clause is like that. Got it, perfect. Now I use like Gemini or I use AI for that kind of use case where I'll use even in Copilot at work, I'll go, oh, I want this. No. Oh, perfect. That's exactly what I want. But I gave it very precise directions, like if I was Googling, except that I
Uh,
don't go to Stack Overflow anymore to see what the nonsense of incorrect answers are.
but the
Uh,
problem is that like lots of those answers, like I've run into so many problems with the AI responses from Gemini that I had to. What my Google search now, I have the plus something. I've added the no AI thing to it, so
mm-hmm.
I can no longer see those
Oh,
results.
those messages, the
I,
Google.
I just go straight to web because
Right.
the AI results are so freaking bad. And I've
Okay.
tried it numerous times, even like recently, where and I get an answer and it looks good, but I know for a fact it is not correct.
Right. I was sharing some songs with a friend uh and so I was thinking about Sheena Ringo and I was like, oh yeah, this song, I really love this song. And I don't there whatever my substation alpha script that my subscript that I created is somewhere on a hard drive that don't won't spin anymore. I have no unless I have it on CDs, which I probably do. I probably burn them on CD-ROMs. I don't know where my
If they
backups
still
are
work.
for it. So what I did is I was like out of curiosity, I went over to the Gemini and I uploaded a song. I uploaded the song that I like have, right? Because I have the MP3 because I bought the CD and I uploaded and said, "Please translate this into English." And it minute later, not even 30 seconds later, it gave me a perfect translation and I was remembering what the translation was. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what like I did with people years ago. And then I was like, all right, please give me the Romanji of this. And then it spit out the Romanji. And I'm just like, I'm one step further from saying, here's the music video. And, and like I'm one step from like retiming it myself. Right? Like who needs translations? I could go and do all the, you know, I basically just need who needs a translator anymore? I can just feed the whole thing into Gemini, and it came out perfectly. Like I was like,
Hmm.
crap. It's like if I had this feature, like 20 years ago, this would have been amazing.
The problem is when you have like the what happened to there was an anime on, I think it was on Prime, where they did a dub, an AI dub, and
Oh
it was
well, okay.
terrible. It was absolutely
Yeah,
terrible.
no, I mean, I wouldn't. That I wouldn't
Besides the
do.
fact that the voices sounded weird,
Yeah.
the actual translations were absolutely 100% wrong.
Hmm. Well, I'll tell you for this one because I know what the translations are, not just the alliterations. I know what it is, and it did a fantastic job. Now, I'm not using generic because I have a Pixel. I have like whatever it is and whatever I'm paying for. I have a free year of Gemini Pro. So my stuff that I'm messing with is with Pro. I prefer it over Chat GPT. Just out of my personal experience on that. But I did this the
I
other
have
day, and I was just like, "Woo! I could get in the business of subbing things again, or resubbing all my old stuff that I never made digital copies of. Redo it in current day, so it's not MPEG, but in high resolution. So
I have Google One, but I don't have the AI thing. And I am if they ever decide to do a AI plan inside of my current plan, I will
mm.
unsubscribe.
Oh,
I
okay.
do not want the AI crap in my plan.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm embracing it. I'm trying it, and I actually prefer it over GPT. But I'm also not paying for a pro version of GPT. So I will go in and say, okay, I want you to, and I wanted to do an AI thing, right? So the other day, I wrote a bunch of lyrics up, and I wrote the core things, and it's like I threw it into like Claude. Claude is a little weird. It just it isn't good. It's not good. It's not right. And you can't just like automagically let it do a thing. It's not good. Me spending an extra 15 minutes of my time is better result than what it's producing just in 5 seconds. But it's also coming from like a core 30 lines of something that I've already written. And then when I gave it to Gemini, it was a little better. I gave it a GPT just out of a test, and the GPT result was a little different. Like, so between the two of them, like, it might be a good inspirational idea, but then you have to go. I just end up rewriting it, right? And so, like, I might as well just do the freaking work, right? The delaying my effort to try to do something. It's just much easier for me to try it out a little bit on my own, find the pattern, find the hooks, and then build it. And that's the writing session anyways, right? Professionals do the same thing, except they take days to do it. I'm doing it in less time because of use of tools. So, so I don't know. They all give different things back. They're not all the same. That was
I hate it all. I hate the future.
For you, AI is frustrating. For me, AI is
just,
exhausting. Everyone talking about AI and every AI company and everyone taking a shortcut with AI. That part for me is exhausting.
Yeah. So I have been playing Hytale.
Yeah, this looks like, I don't exactly understand the theme of it, but Hytale looks like a Minecraft with a particular What's the premise on it?
So Hytale came from from Hypixel. Hypixel was a bunch of servers that used to run, and they got into a little bit of trouble with Microsoft or Mojang about having some paid features on Hypixel, and so they decided to make their own little game. And it's basically a very well running Minecraft-like server with like lots of like extra elements and more stories and different customizations and whatever.
Is it running a Minecraft server, or is it? Or
It's running its own server.
Okay,
its own server. It's nothing to do with Minecraft anymore.
Right.
So
I mean, I know.
So there was so they got purchased.
Yeah.
And they kept developing it or something like that. And then finally the original creator of it decided to buy it back. And because they were going to shelve it and they were going to cancel it and not going to do anything with it anymore.
Who bought it? Did Microsoft buy it? Mojang?
No. It's like a pretty big game company.
Okay. So they were buying the IP so they can shelve it as a problem. Got it.
I don't know. Anyway, so they, so the guy bought it back, and he almost immediately started doing a early access, and it's already really good. Like, of course there's bugs, but like it's already really good, and I'm surprised at because the company that bought it like wanted to put like lots of stuff in there, like to make it more monetizable, and so they had to rip all that out, and they are now releasing it as their own little thing, and I bought it, and I was like, it's definitely worth it. It's been very entertaining. I've been getting killed a lot, but apart from that, it's been running really well, and it even runs on my Steam Deck. It runs really well on my Steam Deck, and the game application. So I think the server on the back end is Java, but the front end is I don't exactly know what it is.
Yeah,
but it's a separate engine, and then there's a Java server running in the background. So when you go look at your processes, it's running a Java server on the back end. So it's actually running a server on your machine.
Server under user execution, right? That's what it's doing.
Yeah, a local server. Yep.
Yeah. Not under service execution, but user execution. Got it.
Yep. And it's been pretty fun. And I recommend anybody who likes Minecraft to go check it out, because it's definitely worth a couple of bucks that it costs.
Watching the video that you shared, and I was like, oh, okay. This looks very like Minecraft with the theme. So
Yeah, that's basically where it came from. So
yeah, I mean, there's
yeah,
nothing wrong with that. Yeah, nothing wrong with it. I mean,
and you can host your own server, and
I think
yeah.
people are on board with this because with the Dragon Ball one, the Dragon.
Also,
I'm blanking on that. I played the game because Paul had given it to me, and he gave me the second version. This was on my Switch, and it was Minecraft like, but not enough, not full on enough. But people love that game. But it's basically Minecraft with
Minecraft Bedrock is an absolute disaster at the moment.
yeah.
I think what is happening. I think I've been seeing some stuff about Microsoft having some issues with like Windows, with like it being very slow and not responsive and that kind of stuff.
It's because they're
Maybe
bloating it
they're
up with all kinds of junk.
yeah they're vibe coding all the OS patches.
I hope not.
That's something that shouldn't be vibe coded, you motherfuckers.
No.
Sorry. Okay, so I think that's it for me. I've got a lot of links. Maybe you can go with your link first.
Oh yeah, I only had one link, and it was okay. There it is. I was looking; it's all the way down the stack. So Stream Deck Elgato came out with they came out with a Steam Deck that is meant for that's rackable for people who are doing like live studio things and are using Steam Decks. There's only so many USB connections you can make, but they came out with one that has a ton of them, more than the XL version that is meant to be rackable. That for you can put in front of somebody on their desk and they can push buttons, doing that. So it's basically a rackable Stream Deck Studio is what they call it. Polymatic.link/1LS. I saw that and I was like, ooh. Now, I already said that like I have too many. I'm staring at like a mini and I'm staring at a normal one and another one and another one over there. And like at some point I was using them to do home assistant, like, little widgets so I could see little statuses on stuff. That's what one of mine became. And then when I had to redo my system, I didn't reset all that stuff up because the thing got wiped out. So, and I was like, you know what? It's okay. I'm used to all the shortcuts with the keyboard and the mouse. Like I don't, as much as I love it, I'm not doing live stuff, right? So I don't have much need for it. So even with like my editing stuff, like it's not, I got one, someone gave me this Steam Deck Plus, right? That has all the little dials and stuff on it. And I got some stuff. I paid for some stuff for macro stuff for Premiere. And I found that I just didn't use them. It's easier for me to right click and do a thing. So I get the use case for it, but I don't have any active use case for them right now. They take up too much real estate in front of my monitors, which is my biggest problem. So
yeah, I don't think that these are going to be very useful for you underneath your
not
monitor.
in my circumstance right now, unless I like my monitors a little lower, and I have like a digital interface, audio interface over here on the right monitor to the side. But yeah, even in most of my production cases, I'm not doing anything super live where I would make use of it. So, but I have too many. And I didn't go crazy over them. And they're expensive anyway, so I can't imagine what the studio costs. Probably as much as an ATM Extreme Studio or whatever they have now.
Yeah. So I think that the Stream Deck are running like a little display over USB, right?
Yeah. All the buttons are USB.
No. Like they are. There's like a display behind it. It's not like individual displays. It's like
is it? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought about that. Probably. You might be right.
Yeah.
That would probably
So
be the easiest way instead of making each individual button self-contained.
But that would require a lot of resources, and that probably why you're having issues with a USB thing. You're running out of resources for that.
Oh, I mean, they're not doing anything. Even if I pop them off, it's not changing anything for me.
But I wonder what they do with the bigger, how they do it for the bigger ones. If they load everything onto the device itself, there's more compute on the device itself.
Yeah, maybe. So Yeah, I mean, you make a good point. I never thought of if it was just one screen, and that would make more sense, right? Um, Either way, my the issue with, just to talk about it, not to go on a tangent on it, the issue with the all too many interfaces is there's a software adapter. So you go and you plug one thing in, and it shows up every single channel input, output, and so now that one thing that is, only has two. It has like four outs on this, four out on the line, four out on the blah blah blah, this and this and this, and so the little four channel box comes up, and it's like, a dozen, 2 dozen variations from a software perspective, and so that's where something like Google Meet, something that's using web RTC, is not looking. It's looking for a webcam and a single mic. It's not looking for 45. It isn't able to like sort through that list unless the 2 dozen fall, all those variations fall within 2 dozen or something. It gets to a point where it's exceeded, and it doesn't know how to handle that. It didn't do a good job of considering that. So that's where a hardware tool, a hardware more native app will work better in that respect. So if Google made a Electron app that had better access, resource access to,
that they do, right?
Huh?
They do.
Do they? It
Yes.
doesn't work any. I never used it, but either way, the web version doesn't work great. Not for me with too many variations. So, and even then, we tried Mixline. Mixline couldn't get it sorted either. And even then, Mixline might not be an option for me in that long list. So, anyhow, okay, tangent aside.
Okay, so I've got a couple of links. Hightail is live, Polymatic.media/1LN. That is Captain Sparkles playing some Hightail. And then, this is just a fun one. Don't touch my clogs, Polymatic/1LO. That's O, the letter, not the number. Then there is a new method for spotting AI-generated art. And it's not really a new method, it's very fun that it helps figuring out what's going on. Polymatic/1LP. They basically change the saturation and the...
you can see artifacts and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, then the tiny essay, Polymatic/1LQ. That is about that little spectrum analyzer that I got. That's been fun. And then some music. Ali Nicholas, I Want to Believe, Polymatic/1LR. I don't know if you've listened to it, but it sounded
I
pretty
listened
good.
to it. It didn't hit for me.
No? Okay. It seemed like your thing. Anyway, and then another one, small one, Polymatic/1LT. I think the guy's Dutch, because I recognize the accent. Polymatic/1LT for a functional Lego typewriter.
Okay, that must be new.
Air quotes functional.
Yeah, I didn't see this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not going to even ask, but I'm going to ask. I'm going to try. Where can they find you, Alan?
Oh, you can insert a clip.
Polymatic/Alan for that. You can find me at Polymatic/John. For feedback, you can reach us at podcast@Polymatic.media. And our website is Polymatic.media. We have our links too. And I hope you tune in next time.